This light might be a little bit too bright. I think I might just do my natural light. All right, you guys. So I posted on my community tab a couple of days ago about the new couples that are going to be on Married at First Sight. And so I wanted to come on here and talk about the new couples because I don't know, I'm really excited about this new season, and I just wanted to hop on here, and I don't really even know what to talk about. I'm gonna like read a little bit from the article, and we're gonna like, I don't know, just get a first look of these couples. So yes, while you're coming in, don't forget to leave a like. I am gonna be posting a video about my hair tomorrow. So if you have any questions about my hair, I'm posting the video tomorrow. And also, I did my own nails that I'm going to be posting a video about as well. So yes, I don't know, I'm just going to talk a little bit until more people come in. A lot of you guys had a lot to say about my last live, and basically I was just giving an update on the last season, and just talking a little bit about, you know, the couples. And mostly everyone agreed that they didn't think that Elizabeth and Jamie would have lasted as long as they did. Who else? Everybody kept reminding me of that Keith got recruited, and I knew Keith got recruited, and I still don't think they should recruit people. Hopefully they didn't recruit anybody this season. No, you haven't missed anything. I basically just started 2 minutes ago, and I'm just gonna like go over like who the new couples are. um yeah, a lot of people were like saying, a lot of people were like telling me like um that Keith was recruited, and I knew that. I actually did a live a couple of months ago about that whole thing, so y'all can go check that out. I think it's the one where Iris was opening up about her experience with Married at First Sight. So if you want to check that out, you can. So yes, I think I've rambled enough. So I saw the other day on Married at First Sight fan. I don't know, I'm just gonna always mention them in these kind of videos because that's where I get all this information from. Other than that, I wouldn't even know half the stuff that be going on. So there's this website called usmagazine.com. Do they still make physical magazines? Well, anyway, one day I'm going to be a little bit more professional about this, and I'm going to be able to just put things on the screen, pictures. I'm trying to figure out how to do all that. But until then, it's going to be a little janky. I'm just going to hold my computer up to my phone. All right, so, oh crap, my computer just completely died on me. Sorry, guys. So I gotta wait for my computer to turn back on. But anyway, I was gonna show you guys the new couples from this new season, and they are like really good looking couples. And I'm not saying like the couples from the past season were ugly or anything, but these are like very attractive couples. And I've just been seeing some of the pictures that Married at First Sight fan account has been posting. I'm like, these men are really handsome. It almost made me want to be like, well, should I sign up? No, I'm just kidding. But like, yeah, these people were some attractive little couples. I cannot believe my computer just died on me like that. All right, guys, I'm about to pull everything up. I don't know if, see, the only thing is I don't like to tell my business. I just don't know if I could just put it out there like that. I don't know how people get on TV and tell their business. That's like the hardest thing in my entire life to ever do, is to tell my business. Like, I've been wanting to do some more videos on here, like maybe opening up, but it's such a struggle for me to like tell things. I don't know. I gotta work on that. Hey girl, we good. We don't need you to be perfect. Just be yourself. It's not even necessarily about being perfect. It's just when you let the whole world into your business, you give them permission to talk about it. It's like hold on guys. I don't know if y'all follow Just Call Me Wah on here, but I love her channel, by the way. She does 90 Day Fiance reviews, mainly 90 Day Fiance. But she was just talking about how she doesn't think she would go on 90 Day Fiance because, like, not only does it open it up to you, but it opens up to your family, all that. And I just don't want to put nobody on blast. I don't want them to be digging into nobody's past. You know what I'm saying? At least with YouTube, this is just me. I'm just opening my own self up, basically. You know what to do since you review the show. Give only what you want. I love Why. I love Why too. I love her channel. I watch her channel all the time. I don't even watch 90 Day Fiance consistently, but I definitely watch all of her reviews. She's like my favorite person to watch about that kind of stuff. But and that's the thing. You said only give what you want to give, but I don't want to be one of those people that only give a little bit and then they frame me in a certain light, because I feel like that's what happened to Iris. Like, she only gave what she wanted to give and they kept certain things a secret. They made a pact that they weren't gonna say much on the show, and then look at her, she got like a terrible edit. Now, do I think some of that is truly her personality? Yeah, because I follow her on social media and Iris is a lot. Iris seems like she's on 10 24/7. So I do think they did capture her personality for the most part, but some things kind of like framed her in the worst way. Like she said, with one of those games, she did give her husband, I can't remember. Oh, she did give Keith a massage and they didn't show that. And so that made it seem like she was just being really standoffish when in actuality she was trying to participate. So it's things like that that make me leery of wanting to actually put all my, personal business out there. Remember that boring girl with Bobby? What does she look like? Terrible edit will not be her reality. I see, that's the thing. I just don't want to get on TV and they just frame it in a way that, or match me with somebody that I think is like perfect. You know, when you see somebody you're like, "Ooh, he actually cute," or whatever, and he turned out to be like the worst thing that ever happened to me. I don't want to put that in somebody else's hands to choose my husband. That's kind of like one of the most serious decisions you'll ever make in your life. And because I'm one of those people, I don't want to get divorced. So if I get married and they pair me up with a fool, I'm gonna feel played. I mean, look what they did with Amber and Matt. Like, I know it was Matt that was lying, but they paired Amber up with Matt. Like, they should have done better research to know that he was only in it to be on TV. Hey, Maisha. People gonna talk no matter what. You right about that, but I don't have to give them nothing to talk about. That's just how I feel, Maybe if I start to open up a little bit more on here, I don't know. Girl, use the platform to boost your social media game at the very least. See, that's the thing too. I don't want to just get on TV and marry somebody just for clout, because I feel like that's wrong. I feel like that's exactly what Matt did. And it didn't help him at all. Because everybody looks at him like he's the villain. Alright, y'all. So finally, I'm so sorry. Go on The Bachelor. Definitely not going on The Bachelor. Definitely like that. If I want to do Married at First Sight, I'm definitely not doing The Bachelor, because, child, that's just like, to me, that's just like a cleaned up version of Flavor of Love. It's the same concept. You might have somebody that is more attractive, but all right, guys. So this is the website I'm looking at. This is Married at First Sight season 10, couples, and this is the first couple. I know Flavor of Love, that's a true throwback. All right. So I'm going to start with Jessica and Austin. Why is everything trying to malfunction right now? My computer is like trying to embarrass me. Okay. So this is Jessica and Austin. Cute couple. They look kind of comfortable already. Okay, let's read about Jessica and Austin. Jessica and Austin, a deep connection has eluded nurse Jessica, 31, who's the last single standing in her family. Also, Austin, who is 31 as well, is a sports fanatic who's been saddled with the curse of a nice guy. He says all the women he's dated have only had eyes for bad boys. So she is the last single person in her family, and so I'm guessing this is like her way of trying to get out of that single boat. I don't know. I feel like you shouldn't look at the people around you and be like, well, I'm the last single person. Let me just try to jump in a relationship so I can be married. You know what I'm saying? I know it is difficult because I'm one of those people that's single, and a lot of people around me are in relationships, but also a lot of people around me are still single too. I'm not 31, so maybe once you get higher in age, maybe you want to go ahead and get married. Your biological clock is ticking, and you want to go ahead and have kids before it may be too late. So I can understand that as well. But I don't know, just the whole thing of I'm the last one that's single, and this, like I said, this could just be how they are framing things for Jessica, but just from what they said, she's the last single standing in her family. I don't think that should necessarily push her to want to just grab a husband just because she's the last single one standing. But we'll see. I'm really excited looking at their picture though, because they look like you could tell, obviously this is the wedding day, she has on a wedding dress, but just the way she's leaned into him, they just seem like they're really sweet just looking at their picture. And then so Austin is also 31, sports fanatic who's been saddled with the curse of a nice guy. Okay, so Austin is one of those people that's been viewed as a nice guy, and nice guys finish last. Girls be one of these bad boys. I think a lot of times, especially when you're younger, we view guys that are too nice as corny, or somebody we could walk all over, and we go for the bad boy. I mean, I think we've all been there as women. We've all been there. I do think some men allow that to make them bitter, and you know have this wall up when they do come across somebody that might actually want to be with you, or maybe they might be really picky and go for girls that go for bad guys. Maybe you're not going for a nice girl. You know what I'm saying? So we can't all put it all on the woman. I'm not ever gonna put it all on the woman. We're always gonna try to look from both perspectives. So he feels like he's a nice guy, and all the women he's ever dated has had eyes for bad boys. So that tells me that you've always chosen to be with someone who always wants to be with a bad boy. So maybe it's partly in the decisions you're making with women. But we'll see. So now we're going to move on to the next couple. There are 5 couples, by the way. Y'all, so slight tangent. There are 5 couples, and each episode is going to be 2 hours. What? I feel like they're trying to follow the 90 Day Fiance model, because if you don't know, 90 Day Fiance episodes are like 2 hours, except for I think it was the other way. Those were an hour episodes, but 90 Day Fiance has 2 hour episodes, right? And they be having at least like 5 couples, right? So I feel like they're trying to follow that model. I'm not necessarily mad, but it's just like, why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? Because I feel like last season the episodes were an hour and a half, And I felt like they were stretching it with 4 couples. They were stretching, you know, stretching all of this out between 4 couples. And they added an extra couple and it's gonna be 2 hours. I feel like they're gonna be doing the same thing. Hopefully those 5 couples can fill up these 2 hours, because I hate how they stretch things out and do this dramatic, you know, these dramatic pauses and, you know, trying to fill up this 2 hours. I just hope they don't do that, because that's gonna be so annoying. Yes, they are taking up my whole night. Exactly. Like, I don't feel like watching Married at First Sight all night. That's why I stopped watching 90 Day Fiance. Now I'm gonna be a little bit more committed, because obviously I'm gonna be reviewing this show. So I'm, you know, gonna take one for the team and watch it. But I just feel like 2 hours is way too long. 5 couples is way too many. I'm excited nonetheless, but it's just like, ugh. And by the way, if you're in here, please leave me a like. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the next couple. Let me see what their names are. Brandon and Taylor, which they are so cute. Look at them. They are so cute. Look. Okay. Let's see. A bad breakup last year didn't dampen the spirit of hopeless romantic Taylor, who is 27. And Brandon, 34, is a survivor of not one but 2 major injuries. The first on a basketball court and the second in a car. Sounds like a resilient pair. Okay, so the first thing that pops out to me about Taylor, she just had a bad breakup last year, and that didn't dampen her spirit. I don't know. It just seems like, okay, just last year you had a bad breakup. I wonder how long was that relationship? Are you truly over it before you jump into getting married to somebody? Because I would hate for you to jump in and marry somebody and that to be your rebound, because most of the time rebounds don't last. So I just hope she didn't jump into marrying somebody and that's their rebound. Like, that would be kind of jacked up, don't you think? Rush into the altar. Yeah. I mean, you know how how when you break up with someone and you run into them later on in life, you would like to be looking your best, you know, being successful, and you would like to be in another relationship. And so it just seems like, okay, I'm just left this bad relationship and I'm gonna return with a husband, so the next time you see me, I'm gonna be married. I don't know. I hope that's not the case. But it's just kind of like, okay, I just don't want you to be rebounding with a husband. That's a little bit too serious to be rebounding with. And Brandon has had 2 major injuries, first on the basketball court and the second in a car. They just look cute to me. So I hope it works out. They just look adorable. I don't really have much to say about Brandon. Brandon's 34, 27. Okay. Nice little age difference. Next, we're going to move on to Mika and Michael, which are too cute themselves. Don't they look like they've been together for a while? Why do these couples look like they've been together already? They act like they done knew each other. All right, now, here we go. Michael with the bald head. I like that. And a beard. Okay. Raised by a strong single mom, Mika, 25, once struggled with self-esteem but finally knows her worth. Yet dating apps kept setting her up with the wrong guys. Well, that's because you're on a dating app. I feel like most of the men on dating apps are not looking for no serious relationship. They are not trying to be settling down. But I can guarantee you majority of those men are not trying to be serious. I wouldn't even fool myself by getting on the app looking for a serious relationship. I mean, I'm not saying it could never happen, but because honestly, my aunt was just telling me the other day this older lady that she's friends with. My aunt was telling me the other day she found her husband on a dating app, and they've been married for years. So I mean, it's definitely exceptions to every rule, but you know, most of the time that kind of stuff don't work out. She's 25 and raised by a single mom and struggle with her self-worth. So that's awesome because she's a beautiful girl. So that's awesome that she found her self-worth and that she seemed like she's not gonna be taking no mess. And I can always appreciate that with a woman, because I think a lot of times we be putting up with mess we don't have to from these men. So it just seems like she's not going to be playing. I just hope it doesn't go too far left the other way and she just has like this hard shell up, because that's what a lot of these women on these shows, I've noticed, a lot of women on these shows do have a problem with letting their guard down, which, how could you not have a hard time letting your guard down and you're marrying a stranger? So I could see it, but hopefully they don't have that. And Michael, 31, gave up a life in politics to focus on getting his master's in public service. All right now. Michael working on getting his master's, and okay, he's 31, 25. Okay, that's a nice little age gap. They always do the age gap with the men older or the same age as the woman. Have y'all noticed that? Pretty much, you never really see it the other way around, the woman being older than the guy. So I'm pretty sure that's like a purposeful thing. So let's move on to Zach and Mindy. Bobby was younger. Oh, he was younger? Okay, I think they definitely do it, but maybe very few and far between, because maybe they asked them, maybe it's a part of the questionnaire, like, would you like to be with someone older, or would you be totally against it? Maybe, I'm thinking that's definitely a part of the process. They probably definitely asked that. So here's Zach and Mindy. Hold on. We have to get the fullness of Zach's hair, because his hair is just like so full and luscious. I mean, he just has some of the best hair. And Mindy looking so happy to be married. They look cute together too. Okay, Zach and Mindy. After the tragedy of losing her little sister, Air Force vet skating coach Mindy, who is 34, knows how precious life is. Okay, she's a couple of years older than Zach. Zach is 32. He's a Southern gentleman and runs a lifestyle business to help clients transform physically and mentally, and lives by the motto, anything is possible. Yeah, I could definitely see him being a fitness coach. Definitely. Oh, I just made that up. He runs a lifestyle business. Well, in my mind, he's a business coach. I don't know why looking at him, he looks like he works out. And Mindy, I hope this works out for her, because she lost her little sister. Aw. She seems like she's super excited to be with him too. Like, she looked like, I got me somebody that's fine. I love it when the women are attracted to the guy. And not that I don't care if the man is attracted to the woman, but I think a lot of times women will settle for, we don't care about looks as much. Like, we'll settle for less looks. So it's cute to see them when they actually are attracted to the guy. All right, Derek and Katie. Oh, we got another tall one. I don't think he's as tall as Matt, but he's tall. Much taller than she is. Maybe she's just short. I don't know. But they're cute. Adrenaline junkie Derek, who is 26, has no trouble finding dates, but craves a connection with the right person. And as a mental health professional, Katie, 25, is more than open to the married at first sight experts as they help her drop her guard to connect with her new husband. We have someone else on here that is going to have trouble letting their guard down. It sounds like that's going to be like their issue, their story arc, is her letting down her guard, because she's a mental health professional too. And let me tell y'all, as a blossoming mental health professional. I'm working on my master's in school counseling. We are some of the toughest people to let our guard down. We just don't want to do it. And we encourage people to do that all the time, all day, every day. And it's so hard for us to let our guard down. So I can relate to Katie. I feel like we're going to be on the same page with a lot of things. And the thing I like about this show is it shows me, um, it shows me the things that I lack and the things that I need to work on, the things that, if I want to be married one day, I need to change. So that's one thing, that's one reason why I really love watching this show, because it kind of holds a mirror up to myself and the things I need to work on. Why are they signing up if those guards are up? That's a good question, because that's the main reason why I wouldn't sign up. That's the main reason why I wouldn't get on TV and, struggle with giving my partner my all, because I have a hard time opening up. Maybe I think for some people, they think getting on the show will push them out of their shell and kind of push them to want to open up and say more and do more. But in actuality, if you're not going to do it off camera, most likely you're not going to do it on camera. You're probably going to clam up even more, you know? I think if the guy isn't attracted to the woman, then it's a wrap and hard to go up from there. The woman who may not initially be attracted to the man may be more willing to give it a go. That's exactly how it is. Like, a lot of people from last season was judging Deanna because they felt she wasn't initially attracted to Greg, but when she saw his house, she lit up and was a little bit more willing to, you know, be with him and be open up with him. And I say that's what women, we do that all the time. Like men, if they're not attracted to her looks, if they stick around, most likely they're using her, like in the probably the worst way, dogging her out, cheating on her, whatever. If he don't really like her physically, men are too visual. They they ain't gonna try. But women, we're willing to look past looks most of the time, especially if you're a good provider, if you're a protector, if you have if you excel in many of the other areas we're looking for, especially if we get our feelings involved. Like a lot of times our feelings will get involved by accident. We'll just be around you too much. You'll be cracking too many jokes. You'll be looking out for us a little bit too much, and we'll just start liking you out of nowhere. And you could be like the ugliest person on earth. That's happened so many times. And I'm not saying the opposite hasn't happened with men liking the not so attractive woman, but more often than not, you see a not so attractive man with a more attractive woman. And that's because women, we look past looks way more than men do. Way more. Way more. And a lot of times we'll see potential. Like we'll look at a guy and he'll be, he might not dress the best. He might, you know, physically he not necessarily ugly, but he just doesn't know how to fix himself up. And we'll teach him how to dress, teach him how to groom himself, get this haircut, do this, do that, fix him all the way up. Because we saw potential. Men don't necessarily always look for potential. With 5 couples, you'd think there would be a couple of another race, not just white or black. You would think, but I think it's really touchy when it comes to race. And I think what they try to do, because they've had so many issues with mixed race couples in the past, I feel like they try to match couples, match the same races in couples. And I remember in the past, Pastor Cal said that black men would love to be matched with other races, while other races don't always necessarily want to be matched with black men, and black women always want to be matched with black men, but they don't always necessarily want to be matched with a black woman. So there's a lot of like racial politics that play a part in that. And so I can only imagine throwing in other races into that. Um, because if you want to match race for race, let's say you want to take an Asian man and an Asian woman, just because they're both Asian, that doesn't mean they're compatible. You know what I'm saying? So uh, I think it's a little bit easier to choose out of a pool of a black woman and a black man to match up than it is, you know, other races. Because I feel like we're, especially in certain areas, like I'm sure if they went to, let's say, California, they would have a large population of Hispanic people to choose from. But then we have another race issue, because you can be black and Latino, you could be white and Latino. That's where race really plays a part. So if you match up, let's say you match up a white Latino woman and a black Latino man. Let's say she didn't want a black Latino man, she wanted a white Latino man, or she wanted a, you know what I'm saying? It's just so many things that play a role in race is the most complicated, controversial. It's one of those topics that, I mean, let's say you do match up a white person with a black person, and the white person's family is racist. So that's going to be a whole issue within itself, like a major issue outside of the marriage itself. That's going to be, I mean, we ain't even going to get to deal with the marriage, because the family going to be in an uproar and possibly disowning the white person. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's why they don't even want to go there, because that is going to be, whew, even trying to explain it, it's like I'm trying to say the right things, because I don't want to offend. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. I mean, race relations, it is what it is. We all know what that is in America. And we all know that there are prejudiced, racist people out there that if they got matched with someone outside of their race, it would be a problem. And some people are prejudiced against people in their own race and are colorists. Let's say you have a dark skinned person that wanted someone that was light skinned. You know what I'm saying? That could be an issue within itself too. And they could be having issues, and the main issue is within that dark person who truly doesn't like themselves, having an issue that they're with someone else who's dark and they wanted someone who's light. But we don't understand where the issue is coming from, because the issue is within themselves and they'll never truly admit it. So you see how complicated that can get? That can get so complicated real quick. They need to hook the participants to the lie detector during the screening process. They, you know what? That sounds like that's kind of out there, but yeah, because we don't need another Matt situation. We don't need one of these people that's lying. Because even Elizabeth and Jamie lied in the process and both said that they wanted kids when they actually didn't want kids. And to me, that's extremely problematic, because you could have definitely been matched up with someone who wanted a child. And that would be trash of you to get in this process and marry someone who don't want a child, and you know deep down in your heart you don't want to have kids. Thank God they got matched with each other. Too many dynamics, definitely. So yeah, that's why I feel like when it comes to race, they stick with black and white, and they stick with matching one race with another, their same race, because it can get so sticky and messy. They deserve each other. They definitely do. Because for you to go in that process and lie like that, they definitely deserve each other. You are exactly right. thing one and thing two need to just realize they can only put up with each other. They need to actually work on their own issues that they have, like individually. And I honestly, you know, if they want a divorce, go on a divorce, because that whole relationship was toxic from the very beginning. It's been toxic, and we've seen it work. We've seen it work with Deanna and Greg. Yeah, they had their growing pains, and yeah, they probably had their arguments, and you know, just like any other couple does. But I just think it's, with them, it just got very volatile and violent. Whether they put hands on each other or not, it was verbally violent, and that is very just toxic, because both of them have issues that they have unresolved issues that they take out on each other. um I think Jamie has past issues, and like his trauma from past relationship that he was taking out on Elizabeth. And I think Elizabeth is stuck in princess mode because her father does everything for her. So she's used to getting her way and being spoiled. And so that's not gonna work in a marriage. You have to compromise. So both of them have to compromise, and they both not willing to. So I don't see how that could work. But yeah, guys, I'm dropping a video on my braids tomorrow, so check out that. I actually did my own nails, which I was so shocked that they turned out so good. And I'm dropping a video on these too. So if you want to check those out, the braid video will be out tomorrow. The nail video will be out next week. Unless y'all have anything else to say, I really don't have anything else. I just wanted to bring up the new couples. If there's like a trailer or something that drops, I'll be back with that. But other than that, that's all I had to say. So unless y'all have something else to talk about, I'm gonna go ahead and jump off of here. I love doing these lives with you guys. Y'all already know. I was gonna come back here and talk about another show, Love in Huntsville, Love and Marriage Huntsville, the reunion, but I just never came back. I think it's too late to go on and do that. I was thinking about doing Married to Medicine, but I don't know if I'm gonna do that either. Depends on, I might do a poll and ask you guys. I did one once before, but I got busy. Ooh, Huntsville was terrible, and it just came out that Martell is still talking to that mistress. I am so over Martell. I was just texting my cousin about it earlier. I'm like, he needs to be out of that house now. There's no way I could stay in that house. And I was just like, I hope Melody does not go into early labor over this. Like, and I was like, after the reunion, even though the reunion was a mess and they all like seemed to butt heads with each other, I was just hoping that because Martell and Melody came in as a united front, I was just hoping that possibly, you know, he would be loyal, you know, and by loyal, not just when they're together in a public setting, but loyal in all aspects, especially when it comes to being faithful to your wife while she's pregnant with your baby. How hard is that? So anyway, I just want Melody to go through with the divorce because, I mean, this man does not respect you. He doesn't respect you. Um, that mistress is disrespectful because you still messing around with a married man. I don't care if you did message Melody and tell her what's going on. You still messing around with a married man. Like, I'm supposed to have some respect for that. A few days ago, they announced they started back filming, and this coming. So maybe that's why all of this is coming out. Maybe the mistress knew that, and maybe that's why she wants to put out all the information. Either way, I'm just like, this woman is still pregnant. It is a hot mess. Like, I'm like, this woman is pregnant. I don't want her to go into labor. Like, you're not supposed to have this kind of stress when you're pregnant. It's not good for the baby. Throw the whole man away. Right, like this is not good for the baby. And the thing I don't like about Martell is that he always tries to place blame on Melody too. And it's like, okay, I'm sure Melody is not the perfect person, but I definitely don't think she deserves this. Unless she's cheated on you before, how does she deserve this? And I do believe the mistress, but I still think she's very shady, and this is that just totally disrespectful. Like if you truly cared about Melody's feelings and her being pregnant, why would you put it out there for all of us to see? Martell is a lost soul. I think Martell truly did not have an example of a good man in his life. And I think a lot of men put out this bad information. So for instance, when it comes to women, a lot of times men treat them as objects and talk about them as objects, and when they walk past, like, oh, look at that thing and this and that. And men are not taught to respect women by other men. You know what I'm saying? I I can't say what their mother is teaching them. The mother may or may not teach them that, but to hear that from a man, and it I feel like that changes the game. And to actually see a man treat their wife with respect, to see that is like a game changer for a young man, a young child. And so to not see their mother get treated well, I know that hurts you. I know that hurts you as a child, but subconsciously it's putting it in your mind, you don't have to treat a woman right. And so I think a lot of these men that grew up without a father subconsciously have learned that they don't have to treat a woman with respect because their father, who wasn't there, didn't care to be there, didn't respect them as a child, is not respecting their mother. So they learned that. Regardless of whether somebody said that out of their mouth or not. So something that struck me, I was watching the Black Love. I don't know if y'all have ever seen the Black Love documentary. It's a documentary series where they have a bunch of like couples, whether they're famous, whether they're, they've been together various lengths of time. They've been married various lengths of time. And there was a guy on there, and he said his dad didn't respect his mom, but out of his mouth he was just like, I love your mom, I love her. And then within the next sentence he was just talking about like, oh, look at that woman right over there, like basically trying to holler at another woman in front of his son right after he told him he loved his mother. So I feel like that sort of messaging, even he said it out of his own mouth, that really messed with him, and he had to unlearn a lot of things that he was taught by his father. Whether his father came out of his mouth and said that negative thing to him, that you can love a woman but still have women on the side, he picked it up through his actions, because that's where we learn most of our behaviors. It's through actions, not based off what the parent says, but based off of what they do. And so he learned that bad behavior from his father, even though his father wasn't even a major part of his life. His father was in jail most of the time. But from those small interactions he had from his father, he learned these terrible behaviors. So I said all of that to say Martell had a bad example as a father. And I feel like he learned a lot of terrible things about how to treat women from that, because his mother hasn't said it outright, but I think his father did his mama dirty. So he's seen that, and it's like, because of his childhood trauma and those things that he's went through, a lot of that he's taken out on Mel. And he feels like he should be able to have Mel, a wife, a good woman, and a wife on the side. I mean, a woman on the side. I went on a long tangent just now. Black Love is awesome. Oh, I love Black Love. I just got done finishing all the episodes. I binged the episodes yesterday. I'm with you on Black Love. one couple had been together for 78 years. I know that touched me so deeply. I was like, oh my goodness. And they didn't seem like they went through 70 some years of dysfunction. It seems like they went 72 years of, yeah, he got on my nerves. Yeah, she got on my nerves. Yeah, we've been through this and we've been through that. But I didn't let a day go by with us being angry and just, divorce wasn't an option and this, like, I just love to hear them talk about that, because you just see divorce all the time, and it's like, it's so nice to see couples actually stay together for the long haul and not a dysfunctional setting. Yeah, it was 70 something for one of those couples, the older couple. Kinmi is my favorite on that show. I love Kinmi too. I felt so bad for Kinmi though. Like, Kiowa is so bitter, and I think she's jealous of Kinmi. I think she's jealous of the fact that Kinmi is getting this upgraded, glowed up version of Maurice. And she had to be the one to be with Maurice while he was, on the come up, maybe didn't have as much money, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like she's definitely jealous of the relationship that they have formed. Um, my cousin thinks that she has a valid reason to be upset, and that they probably were messing around before they got a divorce. But I also heard that Kiowa cheated on Maurice. So maybe they were separated, and maybe Maurice met Kinmi while they were separated. And you know what I'm saying? Maybe they weren't necessarily all the way divorced before they started their relationship. Maybe they didn't cross the line before he got a divorce. I don't know what happened. It's so muddy. I really feel like they should have explained all of that, or the host should have asked more questions about that, because it was so, I don't know, it was just so frustrating not knowing the whole story, because I just need to know why Kiowa is so bitter. I really need to know, because it's affecting everything in the worst way. um Especially like, I'm sure the relationship with her son and seeing his mom upset at her dad, I'm sure that can't be doing anything to help Maurice's relationship with his son. Like, that can't be positive. So I really hope they work this out, because I feel like their relationship is even more complicated and twisted than this whole Martell and Melody situation. You said it right, wife on the side. I mean, he's been messing around with her for like majority of their marriage. It's like the whole Trina and Gabe situation. Gabe had cheated on Trina majority of their marriage. Like, I think they were married 7 years and he was cheating on her for 5. What's going on here? I don't think they messed around before they got divorced. I think they met during the divorce and crossed over after the divorce was fine. That's kind of how I feel. But my cousin feels like they was messing around, and she was like, I understand where she's coming from. And I'm just like, no, because this woman has gotten married to somebody else. She, even if that was the case, let's say that is the case. Let's say Kinmi was messing around with a married man and they were not all the way married and she was completely done wrong. What does that have to do with y'all relationship now? You are married to a completely different man. You should have gotten over all of this hurt before you got married to another man. Because if I was this other man, I'll be like, why are you still so emotionally invested in your ex-husband? Why are you still that emotionally invested? Because it would make me feel some type of way that you have all these emotions tied into your ex, and you're physically showing it on TV. Like, you're married to somebody else, honey. Sister wife T. I want to know how her husband feels watching his wife. That's exactly how I feel. Like, I'm just like, I'm sitting up here married to somebody that is emotionally invested in another man and his wife. And I know that's the father of your child, but I don't know. She's not invested for her child. She's invested because she's still mad that she thinks he cheated. She said it out of her own mouth. She said it herself. And I feel like regardless of whether it's true or not, she still shouldn't be this upset. She's married to somebody else. She's married to somebody else. Um, but I believe Kinmi. I don't think she was. I think they met each other while he was still married to that woman. But I don't think they was messing around while he was still married. I think Kinmi respects herself enough not to be a mistress. She just doesn't come off to me as that type of woman. Now I could be completely wrong, and I could be a little biased because I do like Kinmi, but I just believe her. I believe her. I believe her. And that whole situation with Marceau and, oh my goodness, Martell and Tish's mom, that was so blown out of proportion. I can't believe Marceau and Maurice grow up in the same. Exactly. And it makes me wonder, like, do they have the same dad? Like, do y'all know if they have the same dad? Because I really don't know the history of their family at all. Because it just seems like they really did grow up in two different households. And they low-key don't even look alike. So I'm like, I could believe they have maybe one parent that's the same. And, you know, they're so different. They are so different. I'm just like, but then again, people come from the same household all the time and be totally different. Like, they just have two totally different personalities. But it just makes me wonder, like, was there, if they do have the same dad or if they were raised in the same household, was their father there? Because it just, they have two totally different outlooks on marriage. Two totally different types of wife. You know what I'm saying? Tisha is very subdued, very submissive, very um she plays into that whole misogynistic attitude that Marceau has towards women. She plays into it so well. She falls into that pocket. She just now trying to break out of it. Now that she's on TV, I feel like the fact that people have been calling Marceau out, and she sees that Melody is being a wife and a mother and able to work at the same time. Um, I really do feel like a part of her is kind of um, a little bit jealous and feels like she wish she could step out the way Melody does. Um, but yeah, cause Kinmi is totally different than Tish. Like, she's completely independent woman. You know what I'm saying? She gonna say how she feel regardless of how it make you feel. Kinmi gonna get her voice heard no matter what. I do feel like she is submissive in the fact that she's gonna, like, especially with this whole situation with Kiowa, she following her husband's lead, but she has to put her foot down in this situation too, because her husband don't always be sticking up for her. So what I'm saying is Kinmi has a voice in her marriage and Tish does not. When Maurice went to comfort Tisha and Marceau, yeah, like, how you gonna allow your wife to walk off stage crying? You don't even get up. Your brother have to get up and comfort her, and that just shows the kind of guy Maurice is. He ain't gonna let you walk off crying. You know what I'm saying? Like, go after your wife. And two, I didn't like how he talked to her when she did come back and was trying to talk to him about what happened. I mean, he went off on her like she was a child. He went off on her like, I mean, there, I don't know. He was just talking to her crazy. I did not like that. I did not like how he talked to her. And I feel like if he'll talk to her like that on stage, in front of people, in front of a camera that's going to be broadcasted everywhere, I can only imagine how he talks to her in their household behind closed doors. It's the reason why her mama be coming up in that house and shutting everything down, because I believe Tisha be calling her mama crying about some of this stuff Marceau be saying to her. I can't imagine. I hate to see it, because I can't imagine being talked to like that. Exactly, a whole mess. No respect. He doesn't value her. He doesn't value her. Not the way he talks to her. Mm-mm. You can't value someone and put them down the way he does. Your own wife, the mother of your kids, and he talking about, well, our kids gonna have to see this, and I'm trying to be respectable or whatever, and talking down to your wife on live television for your kids to see. Get out of here. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. Yeah, he's just completely disrespectful, and I don't care for Marcel whatsoever. Him and Martell, I already didn't like Martell. I was starting to like him from their reunion because I was like, oh, I like the United Front thing, him sticking up for his wife. I like that. But this whole thing coming out that he never stopped talking to that mistress, I'm over Martell once again. He has irritated me for the last time. Do you think Love and Marriage Huntsville needs another couple? I definitely think they need another couple. I don't want it to be that light-skinned friend. I forgot his name. I do not want him because he don't do nothing but, I don't know, he come in and be goofy, and I just don't see him bringing enough to the table to be like one of the main cast members, to hold a peach, if you will. I don't see him or his wife being that entertaining. The only thing he's really good for is coming in and stirring up stuff, because he was the one who told Martell to write a response to Melody on Facebook after she wrote something on Facebook, and he wrote that stupid Facebook post talking about how women indicated to their man and appreciate them. He was the one who boosted his head up to say that. So I mean, he did stir up a little bit of drama, but I don't see him being the right fit. I think they need another couple, strong personality couple. Both the wife and the husband have a strong personality, successful, on the level of everybody else on the cast. We don't need another Marceau though. We definitely don't need another one of him. So please, it don't need to be nobody else chauvinistic. Because I'm tired of that storyline. That is so annoying. And we need to go ahead and find Marceau's mistress if she exists. Because I'm tired of the going back and forth over that too. They need a therapist couple. That would be nice. That would be cool. Yeah, that'd be cool to have a therapist couple. I would like to see that. I love to see it. All right, you guys. I've talked for almost an hour. So I'm going to go ahead and jump off of here. I might do another live one of these days. I'll just pop up. Or I might let you know maybe a couple of days in advance. Maybe we'll set a day. I always say I'm going to set a day to do lives and just do a live every day at a specific time on that day. I don't know. I'm not going to promise to do it anymore because I've been lying. So, yeah. I'm gonna get out of here, but I hope you guys have a blessed night, and I'll see you another time.